Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Solana on a Saturday after early morning. I almost said afternoon, probably afternoon for you. Either way, we're going to jump into the charts, kind of see what's going on. Start with some back-end data. Thank you so much for watching. Just do me a quick favor, hit the like button before we get started and or comment below. Greatly appreciate that. Helps grow the channel, gets this content in front of more people who desperately need it. We're going to take a quick look here first of all with the last 12 hours of liquidation. But keep in mind this is going to be kind of all over the place. You see like heavy concentrations on both sides most of the time, but we can see here about 174 to 172 is the potential next level of liquidation that could be swept, considering the price is pulling back. But there are some shorts at 180 pretty heavy, but previous 178, 179 getting liquidated. So really just kind of telling us here that we got potential for further downside. But if we do look at the larger time frames, you can see there's tremendous amount more concentration of liquidation above the price action up at this 182, 183 range, which does seem to be much more sensible for us to see that first. But just keep in mind, we could see just this little blip down and the price action recover. It all depends on support. So let's look at that here. Quickly to note, we want to look at the daily time frame and work our way down here. We can recognize a few key factors here, such as the simple moving averages. We're above all four. You got to recognize we're still generally bullish on this coin. I know it seems kind of weird with the price action pulling back the way that it has. It doesn't look pretty, there's no doubt about that. But we're printing a doji candle here today, so if we say close at 175 or higher, it could be that indecisive moment where the price action does pivot and bounce. A lot of times a doji candle near the bottom of a downtrend will effectively reverse itself. Same thing goes with an uptrend too. Okay, so just something to kind of pay attention to there. We can see stochastically, or with a MACD here, for example, we have a MACD divergence. So please don't read into this, but generally speaking, we've drawn, I highlighted this yesterday, price action could be due for further correction on the downside based on the simple fact that the last two MACD divergences resulted in somewhere in the range of 10 to 20% corrections. Okay, so just be mindful of that. If it does correct here, just say 10 to 20% would put us in the 130 to 150 range. I'm not trying to scare you or concern you. That's the worst case scenario, but I would welcome 150 personally. Just go ahead and take a nice long position from there. That's a very strong support level based on previous day closures, 0.5 fib, etc. Either way, the MACD is kind of telling us it wants to come down further. Stochastic also saying something similar, but it could be bottoming out soon. RSI dropping, money flow index roughly the same. So when you see the MFI still remaining high and everything else dropping, that does imply the next leg up could be coming soon. Okay, so I do think that we do have a good chance of the price continuing further up from here. But once more, the general consensus here in the macro is that we are losing steam and the price action is pulling back. Bitcoin can successfully remove its heads from its ass. We're going to be fine. Solana should be just fine. Okay, it's a very strong coin. It's recovered nicely. This level here at about 165, 170 has held very strong here, that previous channel. And I extended that out a little bit just to give us perspective on where we're at here. It's not an exact number, but generally speaking, that range here has provided a lot of support for us. Okay. Let's look here though, something to kind of recognize, and this is again, something that does need to change, and you won't see this on the weekend likely, but we can see the volume just slowly tapering off. As long as we remain below this moving average here, there's no way we're going to see the price action just take off. Okay, so that's somewhat of a bearish sign for the moment. However, we're starting to shift momentum and gears here where the price action is trying to pull back with the MACD converging. We can also see, of course, here that stochastic swinging up, and of course, we can also identify we're under 50 in the RSI, money flow index is low. Generally speaking, we have this shift in momentum that's supposed to occur. The price should continue higher. Is it going to? We don't know. But being under these moving averages tells us we are under some key level resistances, and we still want to presume the price action may continue lower or just be a little bit more on the bearish side of things. Okay. Again, Bitcoin closes. I just looked at Bitcoin here a moment ago. It's looking pretty solid. At least for a weekend, if you will. Again, weekends are a little iffy for Bitcoin, so you got to recognize that we're not in a position where it's like a perfect storm, but it does look fairly good minus the overextension, and I think that Bitcoin, if we can close at 65K, 65.1K today or higher, alts like this are going to start to kind of come back alive. Okay? But there's no doubt that a lot of alts are shooken because of Bitcoin retesting that lower 60K range, 60 to 63K. Okay? So it's not fantastic by any stretch. We're above the 100 and the 200-day SMA, so we're kind of in the middle of some stuff here. I would say a closure above the 20-day SMA would be a very solid start, but ultimately we want to close above the 50. But yeah, the 20 is working as a resistance, and 50 will be a resistance there at 183. That's right where all this liquidation is too, if we looked at previously, or if you recall from the larger time frames. So again, Some things to kind of think about. Some positive stuff though. Quick congrats to our community here. We took some nice profits from Filecoin, 25% in 13 hours there yesterday. And we do have an open long position with Solana currently, which we are averaging into. Okay. So if you're in that trade, I would say, you know, we're so far so good. We just got to pay close attention to Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin doesn't correct itself monstrously, we should be in pretty decent shape here. Hourly time frame here, this is not going to sugarcoat it, but we're underneath the cloud. Lagging span is free and clear, but it's not very clean, and conversion line's above the baseline. So we have like 1.5 reasons to warrant a long position, but you typically want 3 out of 3. And what I mean by that is just being above the cloud here would be a very, very solid start. So I think anything 180 or higher would put us in a better position than where we're at right now. I don't like the 170s. It doesn't really, it's not a good look on Solana. So anyways, no matter how you look at it here, a closure at 180 or higher, preferably 183 to sweep that upper level liquidity, I think would be a very, very good consideration here. But there's no other way around it. This is not looking phenomenal. And I would just recommend being cautious and adjusting your stop loss higher if you were in a long position. And, you know, depending on what direction you're heading, secure profits where you can. Right, in this kind of market right now, it's not really all that forgiving with all these manic depressant moments with Bitcoin. So we just kind of got to learn to roll with it. But at this point, no news is good news. I think we're kind of in that little transition here. Looking for a closure again, 180 to 183. That's what I'm looking for here to feel confident in a long position. Otherwise, do I want to say short your shirt off? No, we don't have confirmation for a short either, by the way. There's not a lot of confirming factors, but the truth is we do have more so bearish qualities on the daily and the 4-hour. So we're going to need to see a lot more hourly confirming factors here. We also want to kind of pay attention to this here as well, this little descending channel that can break to the downside. A lot of times bear flags do start this way. So just something to kind of throw in there, nothing ominous to close out the video, but just, again, there's a lot of little things that are a little bit more bearish than bullish right now at this point. So just be careful taking a long position at this exact moment. Wait for confirmation is what I'd recommend. Hope you learned something here today. Trade the best exchange in the world. $5,500 in benefit rewards. Use my link to register. Of course, and if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below there as well. Got some awesome traders coming over, and I love working with you guys. Thanks so much. Guys and gals, of course, we got a really good group of female traders too. I hope you all have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.